Welcome back. Let's continue here now. You're watching SA Today with me, Inganathi Ketwa. Well, the Higher Education Minister, Dr. Blade Nzimande, plans to place the University of South Africa, Unisa, under administration. This follows an independent assessor's report that found that Unisa failing to fulfill its mandate. The report found evidence of wrongdoing against the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Puleng, LenkaBula. For an update on these and other issues, we're now joined via Teams by Unisa's SRC Chairperson, Inganathi Ketwa. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. It is unfortunate that we are having these discussions when it is, in fact, today International Youth Day, I believe. But just talk to us about what this means for Unisa, being placed under administration. And what does it mean for students?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to you and your viewers at home. Well, you must understand that the institution has been faced with, a lot of corruption, a lot of problems ranging from maladministration, incompetencies, lack of staff. We have had many problems in the institution, but nonetheless, through our conduct and understanding the magnitude of the institution, we don't think that placing Unisa under administration would be the best solution. In fact, it would be detrimental to the current problems that we're having. Therefore, work on Minister Blade to review his decision. There's been an MTT report. There's been an assessor's report. Well, the findings there are quite correct, and we are in full support that anyone who has been, in fact, found to have, corrupted the coffers of the institution, anyone who has done any wrongdoings within the institution should be charged and should be held accountable. And people must answer for their sins. Therefore, putting an institution that is big like Unisa under administration would be quite detrimental to the services of students. Because you would understand, Unisa has a magnitude of 450,000 students. And it can be correct that these students, as primary stakeholders, then therefore they become the ones who suffer the most. So we're of the view that, there's this targeted, rogue, orchestrated plan or plot against, the management, and against the council of the institution. Blade is just being used as a puppet to fight the issues of a white establishment. They've done so in UCT when they've removed a black vice-chancellor and a female. And it's so wrong to hear that, a first female black vice-chancellor, and particularly during the Women's Month, that, is going to be removed. And, people should come to terms to that. We must be able to give people a chance to lead. And we are of the view that, there's a concocted plot against this institution, and it's a white establishment that is trying to capture all institutions of higher learning. And we are calling against the minister. In fact, we want him to be removed, because anyone who dares and challenges the status quo is either expelled or is either suspended or expelled. To give you an example,
can I come in there?
We've got
Inganathi, can I come in there? You've spoken a lot, and one of the things that you said was, of course, corruption. So let's look at that and its impact on what is currently happening from an administrative perspective for students. Some saying that the minister jumped the gun here, by placing the institution under administration without considering, of course, like you said, the request by Unisa's council, to wait for that court ruling on the independent assessor's report before he made this decision. What does this mean in terms of students and some of the courses that they are studying? Because on other fronts, we are hearing that from an administration perspective, there are papers that have not been marked, thousands, in fact, that have not been marked for several months now. What does this mean for the reputation of those courses, particularly for students?
Thank you very much. The reputation of those courses would be, in fact, deemed as illegitimate and not credible enough. Therefore, we've had turbulences as an institution, and I can tell you in good confidence that, perhaps putting the institution under administration would first and foremost ruin the reputation of the institution. And Unisa, we've worked very hard to rebuild and make sure that we offer credible institution qualifications. And I can tell you now that all our qualifications are registered with SAPA. And in terms of Higher Education Act, I believe that the minister has not really looked into the Higher Education Act of 1997, Section 49, that speaks about putting an institution under administration, where you have to consider maladministration, the financial stability of the institution. In fact, the institution's coffers have been sound and in good standing. Therefore, we really don't see the minister his reason why he should put the institution under administration, because it will be very detrimental to the services of students. We've got assignments that have not been marked. We've got a lack of services, and we've tried to engage HR to say that they should at least hire more people so that we can deliver services to students. An institution of higher learning, its purpose, it's teaching and learning. Therefore, it can't be correct that the primary objective of the institution is disturbed based on people's agendas. Therefore, we have a moral and a continuous obligation to defend the institution with all we have.
Inganathi, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Really do appreciate it. Unisa's SRC chairperson, Inganathi Ketwa, there for us.